Okay, I'm not looking the best. I haven't showered a couple of days, but I wanted to do this video about drugs. Hmm. Drugs are illegal. Marijuana is somewhat legal in some states, and it is hmm, sometimes medical marijuana is legal, but drugs are illegal. But I want to. I'm not gonna tell you to do drugs, but I want you to be able to walk in someone's shoes. Okay, you lost your job, you lost everything. You came here and you lost your ID, and you don't know how to get money or how to work. Um, those are some people that end up in bad avenues. I call them, bad avenues. This kid wants to get out of her house, runs into some bad people, and ends up being used as for sex, and has a pimp maybe. I don't know. All this stuff still happens, it's part of whatever. And then you have the police and the government who said this is wrong and break things up and try to free people and get them back to their families, or try to find them some kind of work to do after they've been in this kind of business for a long time. Okay, I want you to look and walk in people's shoes. Why it happens? Why 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 do people do drugs? Some people do it for escape, because of, some people do it to fit in. Some people try and get addicted. Some people do it for something that happened bad in their life or somebody that died. People use alcohol. Alcohol used to be bootlegged way back in the day where it wasn't legal and they used to run it. And people used to drink it. It was real stronger stuff than what's out there right now. But it was bootlegged, you know. And you know, I don't do drugs. I vape. Nicotine. Oh, China sells it. To America, and they don't let their own people have it. It's probably not very good for me, but I do it because I'm addicted to nicotine, and I like getting my nicotine. I'm gonna try to quit. Very hard to quit nicotine. I've been doing it since I was 15, and we quit because of his help, smoking cigarettes. So I went to vaping. Instead of giving up the nicotine, I still have the nicotine in a different way. It's been tremendously hard for me to quit, and I'm going to try the patches. But I want to quit, and I want to be off of the nicotine, but I think I need it because my neck hurts every morning. Now, that's my shoes. I don't do drugs. I've tried some of the over-the-counter stuff that you can buy from the vape stores, but I don't do drugs, and it looked like the top of a plant. I don't know. I don't know what they called it. Don't know. Anyways, but I did it. Buy some from vape stores. I threw it away because it didn't make me feel good. I take a lot of medicine and everything else. So, but walk in people's shoes. Why do people get involved in drugs? Why do people do drugs? Why do people not only drugs but smoke cigarettes? Everybody don't like it. It's a nasty habit, but you get addicted. It's hard to give it up. And some people smoke cigarettes till the day they die. Their choice. But some people do drugs. They do. There's all kinds of drugs out there, and who mixes drugs with fentanyl or mixes drugs with something that might be bad on you, and you don't know what kind of, you're going to get a good batch or a bad batch. So I think the government should go in after all the ones who are mixing it with stuff that's going to kill you, you know. And I think there should even be some kind of place to test drugs to see if it's safe for you to consume. You know, medical people go out and test the drugs and make sure it's safe to consume for those that want to, you know. I think that should happen. I think that would be really good. You can get really bad diseases. I've seen some really bad diseases from people who have done drugs, you know. And you never know when you're going to get something bad, or you never know when you're going to get an infection, or however you do your drugs. But I want you to look at people. People matter. I care about people, and it's a survival. Some people who get started in these kinds of businesses did it to survive, to put food on the plate, to be able to, not for profit, not for anything else, just to be able to eat and maintain housing, maintain whatever. You know, some did it to survive. Some do it for the money. Some just sell it. Some use it. But each person is important. You're important. And their stories are important. Y'all matter. Whether you've tried drugs or don't do drugs, or have used drugs or are addicted to drugs. You all matter. And that's what, when you end up ruining your reputation where you can't get work because you've gotten in this business, and for whatever reason you end up getting busted. There's a lot of busts going on, you know. Trump is completely against drugs, you know, so there's a lot of busts going on, and a lot of rings getting a lot of things getting broken up. Now, you know, there's this Lady Marmalade, a video about, it's a video about, like, sex, money for sex, or diamonds for sex, or whatever meal for sex. Or, you know, some of these people just want someone beautiful around their hand so they can go to a dinner, or for this, or for that, or for whatever. And some people get rejected their whole life, and they need somebody to, or they're going to rape. You know, they probably would rape from being rejected their whole life if they didn't finally get some from someone. And sometimes people buy it, you know, or everybody turns them down, or they don't feel confident enough, and somebody would pleasure them. So there's a business there for that, and that's illegal too, to sell yourself, or to, you know, some people are on the side of somebody who's married, and he buys the house or buys their apartment and buys them gifts, and sees them on the side of a married person's whatever. But that's just as well as the same thing. It's kind of, except the other one would be with a lot of different people, you know. You know, what you lack in a relationship, you might want to find somewhere else. What you like to do in bed, and your wife won't, or you might want to find it somewhere else. I mean, some people do it for that reason as well. You never know what people are thinking, or what their desires are, or what their wants are, and I'm sticking up for people here. You know, there's reasons people have And we've had that all along. What were they called back in the day? A house with a bunch of women, and then men would go to the bedrooms, and there'd be a bar at the bottom. I can't remember what they were called, but certain houses, and they'd get protection from wherever, but it's the ones that are with the young kids. I don't understand that. I can't comprehend why you'd want to have sex with a 3-year-old. You can wreck their insides and everything else, but some people are attracted to the young. It's a shame. I don't understand it, and they go right back to it. It could be psychology-wise, could be something psychiatry-wise, or their mind, something's wrong. You never know, but they are attracted to young kids, and I don't know why. But you got all kinds of things, and people who don't do anything wrong, just married couple, are fully against all these things. And if you have a tattoo, they shy away from you and wouldn't want to get to know you and think you're a bad person just because you like to color your body with a tattoo. Or somebody who does drugs, they think they're automatically going to steal from them or something. And some people are totally honest and would never steal from anyone. They get their drugs a different way. Some people shy away from people who are on the streets with signs up and said, we'll work for food, or what little you can spare, or homeless. And you can tell when someone hasn't ate and they need food, And some people think it's some kind of ring, and there's just a bunch of people trying to get money from people so they can do their drugs. And why judge homeless people and judge people? You don't know their situation. You don't know how they're living. That might be all they have is some backpack, Who are you to judge? And when you go to these homeless shelters, they make you leave during the day and go out in the community, and you have to walk around and do stuff. Well, some might get hungry and want to eat, and it's a long way back to wherever, and who knows how far they have to walk, or if they get uprooted because they come in and say you can't be here anymore, so you gotta move. So they keep moving their locations of where they can set up camp and stuff. And prices of rent are so high, it's hard to get jobs. People lose jobs. All kinds of stuff happen. And they end up in different avenues. They don't have enough to get by. I'm pawning what little I have, and I'm paying 297% interest just to get by because I don't live on enough money for all the money that I need a month. Things are more expensive now, and interest and everything that you pay, and things just get tough. Things get tough. I want to get out of the pawning cycle, but things get tough for a lot of people. And some people do drugs because they want to do drugs. They like the way they make them feel for whatever. If you never tried it, you don't know. And you shouldn't judge people, and you should get to know people, and you shouldn't judge their situation. But, the law's there. Right? It's not legal. These things, avenues aren't legal, but they're there for a reason, for people that had tough luck, tough whatever, don't have schooling, jobs are being eliminated for different purposes, for AI, jobs are being eliminated. Who knows if your job's going to be around, and you might be on the streets. It takes 2 incomes. One person loses their income and they're homeless, And what would you do to survive and to eat and to do whatever? Most won't steal, some will steal, but it's not everybody, and you shouldn't put everybody into, well, this person stole from me, so anybody who does drugs is going to steal from me. That's not the case. You know, everybody's situation is for a reason. People do things for a reason, and you'd say you'd never do it, but you're not walking in their shoes. So don't judge people. You get judged on your last day, whether you go to heaven or hell. They made their choices. They made their decisions. They're gonna, if they did things wrong, they're gonna wind up in hell. If they do things wrong, they can get caught by the cops and they could be arrested, and they could go to jail. You know, that's the risk they took, and that's what they took. And you know, the drugs are here, the cocoa plant and all these plants are here, marijuana plant, all these plants are here for people to use in different ways. So how wrong is it for the drugs if it's not created like meth? They're here to use for your enjoyment, or for healing powers, or for relaxation, or for whatever. So, you know, you can look at it that way too. Some create drugs like meth, some like the high. I was totally against meth. I thought it really wrecked homes, and you hear how it wrecks homes, and homes can blow up if they bake the meth. I was really against meth, you know, but then I thought about it. I met somebody along the way that said, I love the high. I do it every day. I enjoy the relaxation I get from it, or whatever from it. And then I realized I'm wrong to judge anybody who does it. You know, they do it because they want to. Whether they lose teeth, they make the choice. And if they're going to lose teeth or lose this or lose that, they don't care. They like it. So who are you to tell them not to do it? If they want to quit, be there to support them. Be there to help them get over it. Be there to help them figure out how to give it up. Like, I know a meth headache, you can get nicotine and caffeine will help the meth headache go away. I know that, and I would never try meth. I never have. I've been against it, but I'm not against it anymore. But I still wouldn't try it. It's not a drug I want anything to do with. But I've heard that from people, that the two get rid of the headache that you get when you don't have it in your system, or when you're coming off of it. You know, be there to be their supports if they want to come off, and be people in church that would accept them into your congregation to have faith in something to get off of it. You know, church had never pushed people out for any reason. You know, you're there to get faith and to believe, and you may even be someone who's went through bad avenues, but it still should be there for morals, for values, for having faith in something higher than yourself, for wanting something to believe in, you know, to help you through whatever tough times you might come across. If you're a church member, don't push people out. I guess I just wanted you to think about people and their situations, and don't judge people so harshly. You know, it might be something wrong with them. Maybe that's why they have underlying, they say, dual diagnoses. They have something wrong with them, and depression, anxiety, whatever, and they try drugs and do drugs for that reason too. And they had an underlying thing that wasn't being helped very much by medicine or something, and the drug helps them through it. Why do people drink alcohol? To relax, to calm down, to get through the day. Why do people do whatever? You know, you're not walking in their shoes. You shouldn't judge them, but you should be there to support them if they want to come off it. And they might be like a totally different person because they gave up a part of them that, and now they come out where, so, they might not have been very outgoing and anymore. They were outgoing when they were on the drugs, and they'd go talk to anybody, and they're really social, and may become antisocial because they're off the drugs and they don't feel as confident or feel as they want to be real flamboyant. They're kind of more quiet, laid back, don't say much. You got to accept them how they are, and they may change. They may get angry, and their anger may show when they're not on their drugs, and the drugs help calm the anger. You don't know. You really don't know, but you have to accept them for who they are, whether with or without the drugs. And you should be there to be their rock when they come off of it, if they want to give it up. I remember movies. The movie, what's it called? Pretty Woman. And she was selling herself for sex, and he just treated her like a queen and then fell in love, you know. I think that's what everybody wishes for, is love, everlasting love, a relationship to last until you're 50 years old and you're married or something. Some don't. Some never want to get married. You know, it's to each their own. And some like to play the field, you know. And some pay for it. I don't know. There's movies about drugs. There's movies about everything out there. But you have to feel for other people, empathy, and really care. If you care, then you might help them through their times when they may need you. Have a blessed day. Bye.